Hey everybody, this is Tim with the University of Vinyl. I am back today with a new video, obviously. Hope everyone is doing great out there. I can promise you that this video is not going to be 45 minutes long, but I think this is going to be a fun one. I have 5 albums that I think can be classified as dollar bin albums. When I say dollar bin, we can fudge a little bit and say, let's say $5 or less. I have seen all of these albums that I'm going to show over the past 2 or 3 years in used bins for under $5. Now, when we go to used record stores or antique malls or the various other places that we go looking for those grails, we can't always come back with a home run. But a lot of people overlook these 5 albums I'm going to show. They pass them by. Probably today it's happening out there. There are reasons that I'm going to expound on why you should own these 5 albums. I'll be right back. First of all, I am a child of the 1970s. That's when I kind of came to age. I was born in the mid 1960s, so I was 10 years old in 1976. And that's when I really started to kind of tune my ear to FM radio. And I remember being on summer vacations with my family in the car, hearing some of these songs over and over again. And, this was before the Walkman. This was before the iPod. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to go down to, hopefully you had a record store in your town. And if you were buying records at that point in time, maybe you're going to go look for the single, the 45, or you're going to maybe save up for the album. So that's where a lot of this stuff is kind of coming from for me. And I hope I don't get derided for being too mainstream or too vanilla with this video, but I'm telling you there are some gems in this list, and many people are going to know these albums. Many people may not. So if you have not familiarized yourself with these albums, I'm recommending that you do. First of all, let's start off with the gorgeous Rita Coolidge. What a gorgeous voice. And this album is a powerhouse. Side 1 is one of the best sides. I'm going to call it easy listening music because it's it's AOR, it's FM radio, rock and roll slash countrypolitan slash disco. Right off the bat, Your Love Has Lifted Me Higher and Higher. It's got that steady kind of Nashville backbeat essence to it. There is a little bit of synths in there, but there's a lot of organic, fantastic musicians and music. And it's a fantastic song. That is called Higher and Higher. That's the first song on side 1. Many of you probably know it. It's like eating a really comforting bowl of oatmeal on a very frosty morning with some chopped nuts, fresh fruit, maybe a drizzle of honey. That's the feeling that you get after you hear that song. The Way You Do the Things You Do, another cover song, and this one is rocked up quite a bit with quite a bit of R&B flavor to it. Sounds fantastic. We're All Alone, another FM radio hit. The sound on this album is fantastic. It was mastered by Mike Reese at the Mastering Lab, one of the top boutique mastering studios of the 1970s and beyond. I even have a club edition and it sounds fantastic. Fantastic separation of instruments, great soundstage, And some of the backup players that she has on this album need to be heard to be believed. Um, I'm talking about people like Booker T. Jones on synthesizer on Your Love Has Lifted Me Higher and Higher. Uh, Dean Parks on electric guitar. The great Lee Sklar on bass guitar. Kim Carnes on backup vocals. Let's look at The Way You Do, The Things You Do. Mike Utley on piano, fantastic player. Booker T. Jones on organ. Jerry McGee on slide guitar. Dean Parks, again, Lee Sklar on bass. Kim Carnes again on backup vocals. This is a great album. You can find it for probably $3 every day of the week here in the United States of America and hopefully beyond as well. That is Rita Coolidge, Anytime, Anywhere. Another album from 1977. This has got a hit single. It was the title track. It went all the way to number 8 on the Billboard 100 that summer. And I remember distinctly it being in a car with my parents and my brother on a camping trip in Minnesota somewhere. And I remember listening to this song for the first time and falling in love. That is Jay Ferguson's Thunder Island. Now, of course, he was buddies with Joe Walsh. They shared managers, or producers, sorry. Bill Smizek produced this album. Joe Walsh is all over this thing with Jay Ferguson. Jay Ferguson, formerly of JoJo Gunn and Spirit fame. He had a couple solo albums. Another one came out after this album. It had the song Shakedown Cruise, another favorite. But there's some great, in addition to the title track, which is absolutely fantastic. I love Night Shift. I love Babylon. Solon is a good song. So is Cozumel. Losing Control. One of the songs actually has got, what song was that? Night Shift. It credits Wah Wah Walsh on guitar. Get it? That is a fun listen. This sounds fantastic as well. These albums that were produced in the mid to late 1970s, the height of vinyl, people were doing it right in those days for by and large. Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island, 1977. Another favorite from 1976. This is a typical singer-songwriter album, and Stephen Bishop, probably his most widely known, probably best-selling album, Careless. This came out in 1976. The album is mastered by Bernie Grundman. It sounds fantastic. This is another $3 album that is easily found 7 days a week. He has got an all-star cast behind him on this album. First of all, let's talk about side one, On and On, Careless. I love Sinking in an Ocean of Tears. Some of these songs were radio hits from the day. Side two, Save It for a Rainy Day, kind of a jazzy feel to it. Who was on that song? Let's take a look. Guess what? Eric Clapton solo guitar. Russ Kunkel on drums of James Taylor and Carole King fame. Who else? Art Garfunkel on background vocals as well. Victor Feldman on percussion and vibes on this album. Never Letting Go, the second track. Fantastic song, background vocals, Shaka Khan. Very, very, very highly recommended album. You could put this on when you're making dinner on the weekend or whatever. It is a very, very enjoyable listen. Goes by in a breeze, like a breeze. 1978 was the year, and the album was Not Shy by Walter Egan. Now, Walter Egan was a singer-songwriter, guitar player. That's the back cover. This album came out on Columbia. And the claim to fame here is it's got the single Magnet and Steel on it. Lindsey Buckingham playing rhythm guitar. Stevie Nicks on background vocals. Mick Fleetwood was on this album as well in different parts and different songs. Co-produced by Lindsey Buckingham and Richard Dashit. Does that sound familiar? Let's think about maybe Rumors, little album that they produced. So this thing sounds absolutely incredible. There's some great songs on here in addition to Magnet and Steel. Side 1, I love Sweet South Breeze. The Blonde and the Blue T-Bird. Again, Stevie Nicks is on background vocals on that song. Hot Summer Nights. Awesome groove to that song. Kind of atmospheric. It's the last song on the album. This came out again in 1978. I'm sure you've seen this in the used bins. Maybe didn't know anything about it. Anytime you see produced by Lindsey Buckingham, grab it. It's going to be good. As well as Richard Dashit. Richard Dashit, in addition to Rumors, he was all over Fleetwood Mac's Tusk, Mirage, Tango in the Night. He's done other stuff as well, but a fantastic producer, knows how to get a fantastic sound on a rock and roll album. Let's skip ahead to the 1980s and that mysterious combo or duo known as David and David. Now, this is another album that was mastered by Bernie Grundman. It was on the A&M label. Of course, the title track was the big hit off this thing, but there is a second song on the album, Swallowed by the Cracks, which actually went even further up the chart. So, Welcome to the Boomtown is the name of the fantastic first song on side 1, Swallowed by the Cracks, side 2. These guys are longtime session players in the LA area. They were both involved on Sheryl Crow's debut, the Tuesday Music Club album. And I just did a quick look on Wikipedia to find out what happened to these guys. Supposedly, they got back together in 2016, were working on an album, and fell out, and that was the end of the project. So they famously apparently do not get along. They only got along long enough to put out this fantastic album. It sounds great. Fantastic soundstage on this thing. This could be a test record for a new system. That's how good it sounds. But that's David and David. Came out in 1986. There are 5 albums that I just reeled off. If you're not familiar with any of them, highly recommended. They're not going to cost a lot of money. You're going to find them in the used bins out there. Pick them up, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.